Good morning students. Today we will start the syllabus of class 11th biology. Before we start the syllabus of biology, I am sharing with you the sequence of the chapter which we are going to follow for this session. Kindly note down this sequence on the very first page of your notebook. Here are certain instructions before we start. Dear students, all of you have to make one separate notebook. It can be in the form of a register for writing down your notes as well as your assignments which I assign you. Second thing is you have to make one lab manual, and what you have to write in that I will tell you later on. You just purchase the lab manual for this session. And the third and the very most important instruction is regarding the submission of your work, which is assigned to you during or after the completion of the session. So the deadline for the submission of work assigned to you is 48 hours, which is of 2 days. And if any chapter require much number of time or much number of days, I will let you know in that particular chapter only. So today we are going to start the first chapter, that is cell, the unit of life, and the subtopics which we are going to cover under this chapter are introduction of cell, cell theory, types and division of cell, cell envelope, ribosome, cell membrane, cell wall, endomembrane system, mitochondria, vacuole, plastids, cytoskeleton, cilia, flagella, centrosome, centromere, nucleus and microbody. We are going to study about all these subtopics in detail. When we talk about living organism, the first thing that comes in our mind are what are living organism made up of. So the body of all the living organism are made up of cell. It is very much similar to the building which is made up of bricks. Based on the cellular organization, living organisms are divided into two types. One is unicellular and second is multicellular. Unicellular are the organism in which the body of the organism is made up of single cell, and that single cell is responsible to perform all the functions of the living organism. Similarly, the multicellular organisms are made up of number of cells, or you can say the multicellular organism are made up of more than one cell, and each cell has a specific function to perform. Irrespective of the unicellular or multicellular, the cell performs similar basic function for the survival of the living organism. Now we know that living organisms are made up of cell. But what is the cell made up of? Actually, the cell is a tiny mass of protoplasm which is surrounded by a membrane and is capable of performing all the function of life. So the protoplasm is a sort of cytoplasm or the gel-like structure which is found between the cell. A typical cell is formed of 3 parts. So we can say that each living organism, the cell of each living organism is made up of 3 parts. One is the plasma membrane or the outer membrane which separate the cell from the external environment. Second is the nucleus, which is known as the control center of the living organism or the cell, and it is mostly situated in the center of the cell. And between the nucleus and the outer membrane there is a gel-like structure which is called as cytoplasm. All the metabolic activity are accomplished within the cytoplasm because it consists of the number of cell organelles which are responsible to perform different. Cell is known as the basic unit of life because it performs all the functions which are necessary for the survival of living organism. Second thing is division of labor. Division of labor means to divide the duties or the responsibilities among the cell. It is very much similar to the class of 20 students in which we are having one class monitor, we are having one discipline monitor. Each and every student is assigned a different function. Similarly, each and every cell has been assigned with a different function. But this feature of division of labor is usually found in multicellular organism, as multicellular organism has number of cells to perform or to divide the function among themselves. It is absolutely absent in the unicellular organism because in unicellular organism body is made up of single cell, and that single cell is responsible to perform each and every function. Now each cell organelle perform different function like clearing of the waste material, protein synthesis and the lipid synthesis. All these cell organelles are basically found either free floating or attached to the nucleus inside the cytoplasm. Now come to the discovery of cell. In 1665, Robert Hooke, an English scientist, saw cells in a thin slice of cork with his crude microscope, which is made by him only. He observed as honeycomb-like structure and named them as cellulae or cells. His discovery indicated for the first time that living organism consisted of number of small structure or unit which are microscopic. You should also be aware of the history of cells. In the given slide, there are the name of certain important scientists which you have to remember and note down in your notebook. In 1665, Robert Hooke is responsible for the discovery of the cell. In 1674, Antony von Leeuwenhoek studied the living organism for the first time. In 1831, Robert Brown discovered and named nucleus in a cell. In 1838 to 39, M.J. Schleiden and Schwann formulated the cell theory. In 1855, Rudolf Virchow stated omnis cellula e cellula. These are the name of important scientists which are related to the history of the cell, which you have to remember and also note down in your notes. Now, what are the gadgets or the apparatus to study cells? Cells are basically microscopic in nature. They are too small to be seen by the naked eye. That is why we required a microscope to see them. Microscopes are high resolution instruments that are used for observing the fine details of very small objects which cannot be seen by the naked eye. So basically we have two types of microscope. One is light microscope, which has the magnification range from 100 to 1500, and the second is electron microscope with the magnification range from 1 lakh to 5 lakh. Another important topic is the cell theory, which was jointly put forward by Schleiden and Schwann in 1835 in their paper Microscopic Investigation on the Similarity of Structure and Growth in Animals and Plants. The postulate of the cell theories are as follow. Number 1, all organisms are composed of one or more cell. Second, cells are the basic living units within organism and the chemical reaction of life take place within cells. Third is all cell arise from pre-existing cell by some sort of cellular division and are not formed de novo. De novo means they are not suddenly formed. They are formed from the pre-existing cell by the cellular division, which is named as mitosis, either mitosis or meiosis. In 1855, a German medical doctor named Rudolf Virchow observed under the microscope that cells have the capability to divide themselves. In this way, he supported the third postulate of the cell theory, which state that all cells arise from pre-existing cell. So there has to be some existing cell to give rise to the new cell. Hence, the principle of the cell theory in brief are as follows. All living things are made up of cell. Smallest living unit of structure and function of all living organism is the cell. All cells arise from pre-existing cell. They says that none of the cell arise spontaneously. Each and every cell arise from some kind of pre-existing cell.